There have been some interesting shifts in how millennials and Gen Zs view the idea of retirement compared to previous generations. Now, according to a prosperity index study by Intuit, 3 out of 4 Gen Zs say the current economy makes them hesitant to set long-term goals. It's really interesting. And get this, 2 out of 3 doubt they'll ever have enough to retire. The study found that we're trading in hustle culture and FIRE goals for soft saving because of the belief that our future shouldn't take priority over living today. It seems that most of us value our quality of life today over having money in the bank 20 years from now. Now, Saijal, I had to cut you off on our last segment, but I wanted to quickly come back to the idea of owning a home as your retirement plan. Is that still something that we look at today, or is renting another option as well?
I think you have to do the numbers. I don't think it's a black and white answer. I think, people 5-10 years ago would have said, and they have banked on their home as a retirement plan, but things have changed. Homes are a lot more expensive. The other thing is, if you're renting, you do lose some sense of control, right? You don't know what rent prices are going to be like. You look at some people now and they're struggling with rent costs, right? Because they never thought that they were going to pay double or triple what they're paying.
And I think owning a home is a great idea as far as capital, right? Because we have stock market, you can invest into the capital markets, but you can also invest into the real estate market. Long term, it's been a good investment. Right. That doesn't mean it's going to be the best investment down the road.
Now, Tony, I want to ask you this, based on what I said about our generation wanting to live the best life today, not 20 years from now. That's something that we think about a lot. I can be accused of that.
Well, yeah.
What are your initial thoughts on that?
Right. Well, it's interesting because there was the sacrificial generation, World War II, that delayed gratification, sacrificed, and had a total different mindset towards family. And then there's the baby boomer, was kind of a mix of both. And then now I'm in the end of the baby boomers. And so we're spending more than our parents would have done. But I believe today that the Gen Z and the millennials are having a tough time sacrificing for the things that they want. So they're saying, I want that sea-doo, ski-doo, 2 cars in the driveway and the pool.
Right. Yeah. Now, Saijal, what, I guess, do you think it's uncertainty as well, like uncertainty in our generation that we don't understand investing and we don't understand investing habits to build?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a feeling of, well, why bother, because I'll never get there. And I say that would be a mistake. Setting yourself up for the future is not that difficult. And I know people say, well, you're crazy. Look, I've been in the industry for a very, very long time. It takes discipline and patience. Right. You start putting away a tiny bit of money and just let it grow.
Let it grow.
Let it grow.
I want to ask you guys a couple, there's the different types of investors. I know you guys are very experienced in this part of it. So let's start with the cautious investor. Somebody who doesn't really fully understand, they don't really understand investing at all. Where can they learn good information?
Well, I would agree. You can go online, you can get some basics, but I think ultimate in the end, it's a one-off, individualized personal financial planning process. With whom that is, that's up to you to make the right call for your personality, for your family dynamics. So finding somebody that you can connect with, but ultimately you can go online and get basic information on, what is an RSP, what is a tax-free, what is a pension plan, all that.
I want to jump in, Saijal, on the point of investing is risky. The risky investor. Oh, it's like gambling.
No.
I'll let you respond.
I'm gonna flip that. Okay. Not investing is riskier.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. Because expenses are rising much faster than wages. Investing allows you to grow your money while you sleep 24/7. Every time I hear this, it's because they've looked at somebody who's fallen apart and blown themselves up because they didn't follow basic rules. Correct. Which is diversify, invest aligned to your goals, invest in things that you understand, stop chasing, stop being the FOMO person and chasing.
You find that crypto or GIC mindset, right? And it's
Tony,
important.
let me ask you this though. The do-it-yourself investor.
Yes.
Is there a lot that you can do yourself and then go to a financial planner or advisor for other information? Like, what's the difference between how much I can go to you for versus
Well, as Saijal mentioned, doing nothing is not acceptable. So even if you start something small and you do it on your own, that's great. But most wealthier Canadians use an advisor. And so the advisor is basically 80% of the high net worth market, right? So if you can understand, investing is not just the widget of buying a stock or a bond or a cash equivalence, but it's really about the formality of putting a financial plan together, covering all those key areas.
Tony, I'm going to have to cut you off here. We're going to get into the next segment. When we come back, what should you know before you start?
I'ma rule the world, yeah.